if you feel like you're barely skating into the holidays. Hopefully by now you all have your Christmas gifts purchased and you're getting ready to celebrate, but if you're anything like me, I'm using today to clean my house and cook last minute before guests arrive. This whole month of December has been an absolute blur. I feel like I can't keep up. And I decorated so late this year. More time had passed than I wanted before I was able to finally decorate. But all that matters is that my family and I enjoyed the season, and there's no use in stressing out and making it a big to-do just to be on time or fit to any certain standard that you are imposing on yourself, which is literally made up in your mind. So forget about all the expectations and just do what makes you and your family happy. And forget about being on time. And I say that in quotes because who really says there's a timeline for Christmas anyways? It's just so important not to stress yourself out during the holidays, trying to keep up with tradition or with what you think you should be doing. It's been a mad dash for Christmas, and if you need some last minute motivation to get ready for company or just need someone to feel festive with, put this video up on your phone, your tablet, your TV, and let's get to cleaning. I also am doing all of my Christmas decorating in this video. I know I told you guys I'm late. And I am also sharing my homemade chicken noodle soup recipe in this video. And I have a secret ingredient that I know will change your life forever. You guys have to stick around and watch to see what that is. But thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. If you're new here, thank you so much for clicking on this video. My name's Carrie and I like to clean. It just brings me so much peace to be a homemaker and clean my surroundings. And I'll admit that life with a husband, 2 kids, 2 cats, and a dog, it can be really busy, but I'm just trying to do the best that I can. And I saw in a local Facebook group that this mom was looking for a cleaning mom friend, someone that would like come over and entertain her kids and eat brunch, drink mimosas while she cleaned, and then the next time they could switch and do it at the other person's house. And I really loved that, but I just feel like this community on YouTube is my cleaning mom friend, and so I hope that together we can tackle our messes and get things done. Like I said, I've been running on fumes for Christmas. I am self-employed and work from home, and I'm hosting both sides of the family this year for Christmas, which actually makes me very excited and happy. I work as an event coordinator, and I plan large-scale events every month, so I truly do enjoy creating an atmosphere that people feel welcome to and invited, and it's just warm, and especially to celebrate the holidays. I love it so much. So I also really like to cook, and my kitchen gets a lot of use. So I'm starting in my kitchen in this video, and you'll see everything in this video take place over the course of a few days, or what feels like a few days, but it's actually over the course of a few weeks. So thanks again for watching, and I hope you enjoy. Using my Barkeeper's Friend to clean my sink. I do have stainless steel, and I have loved Barkeeper's Friend ever since I had a porcelain sink. It just removes all of the scuff marks and stains so beautifully. I do need to actually switch to a cream cleanser. I need to remember to buy the creamy one next time instead of the more abrasive one, but I would say definitely get the abrasive one if you have a porcelain sink, or porcelain tubs also. It works great on tubs and in the bathroom as well as in the kitchen. It's definitely one of my favorite cleaning products. But I'm going to give everything just a wipe down here and get it all looking spick and span and fresh so I can bring in Christmas. I still have some fall decorations to take down in the kitchen, and like I said, I'm behind, but this footage was actually filmed like on December 1st, so I'm really just behind on editing it. It was time to clean the hood, and so I'm just going in with the Easy Off Heavy Duty Degreaser. I really like this cleaner for both the cooktop and the hood with the glass. It cleans very easily, and also it doesn't really leave streaks. I don't feel like I have to come through with the glass cleaner after I use it, and also there's no really harsh chemicals, so I do really like this cleaner. I did need to mop my floors, and I actually do mop them later in the video, but since I didn't have time or energy on this particular evening that I was filming, I'm just gonna go ahead and sweep the kitchen. And just to remind you, this is what the kitchen looked like before, and then I'll show you the footage of after. Husband's just helping me clean out this little catch-all. I had to put the pumpkin plate away and bring out the next seasonal catch-all plate that I have, and so he's just putting everything into piles for either my kids to put away or for him to put away or for us to trash. And normally he's not in my videos, but he does help me so much around the house. Anything pretty much that I ask, he'll do. He always jumps in with the kids too. He's either with them playing or cleaning when I'm filming, so he definitely is super helpful, and I could not do all this without him. I definitely can't. I can barely do it with him at this point. But once we get through the holidays, actually it's my birthday in January and also my son's birthday, so the party continues straight on through January, and come February, that's when like things calm down and I can finally kind of gain my bearings and catch my breath. But we're moving into my bathroom, and this is embarrassing. It's time to take out the trash. My daughter was like messing around in here with one of her projects every single day. She is making a craft. She pulls out all of my art supplies. She makes my office a disaster, and it's every single day, and it's multiple crafts. Like I literally can't keep up with her at all. So anytime anyone asks me like what kind of gift she would like, I always tell them craft stuff. She just loves making things, and she's so creative. She's 7 years old, and so she had made some squid thing that she was gonna put in water. It didn't work though, and it did stain my counters, but I did get it off. And so I'm just gonna give everything a nice scrub in here. Everything is pretty clean because if you're new here, we had a water loss in our bathroom, and it affected our bathroom and our kitchen. So the repairs, I mean, we had to pretty much get all new everything. So everything is pretty clean, but when it's close up, it's not that clean. You know you went to Catholic school when you listen to the instrumental version of this song and you instantly sing the Latin version instead of the English version. So moving into the dining room, I've just been kind of throwing everything here, and so I can put it all away, and I just need to kind of organize it and get that all situated. I'm gonna clean it up. My cat, you saw him jump off. He has been in a few videos recently because he's only 6 months old, so he's very playful, but he likes to destroy this table. He likes to throw all of my placemats all over the room, and he also likes to kick over chairs. and so it doesn't stay pretty for long. I go ahead and get it back in order for now. I'm also going to go around and make sure my chairs are a proper distance away from the table. They should be at about a 4 arms distance away so people can get in comfortably, and also just for aesthetic reasons. So if your table looks weird and you're just not sure what it is when you're looking at it, try pulling the chairs out just a bit. So what are y'all's plans for Christmas? I mentioned that I am hosting both sides of the family this year, and as I also mentioned, I am an event coordinator by trade. So I wanted to share just a few tips with you on entertaining and hosting guests. The first thing is that I always like to make sure that the main areas are all clean and smelling fresh. That includes cleaning the main bathroom that everyone's going to be using, making sure there's a fresh towel in there, which admittedly, every single time my mom comes over, she's like, Carrie, you need a towel in there, because at the last minute, I pull the one that's in there to go wash, and I mean to get another one and always forget. So make sure that there's a towel in there so people can wash their hands. Make sure there's toilet paper and that it's easily accessible in case anyone needs to go looking for it. And one day I really want to have a whole little refresh station like they kind of do at nice restaurants where they have like an attendant and they have like mouthwash and hairspray and stuff like that, but we are not there yet. We actually just finally got the bathroom tiled and we're almost done and just need finishing touches. So one day we will get there. But if you're having people over that are going to be cooking with you, and you anticipate that they're going to be in the kitchen with you at all, make sure your microwave is clean and that any of those areas that they might be using or going through are clean and tidy. I also always like to make sure to vacuum my couch and even sit down in some of those areas where you might normally not sit, but your guests will, and just kind of take a look around as if you were them at your house and see what you notice. The second thing I like to do is make sure that everything that can be prepped ahead of time is done. I started my baking and finished that earlier today, and then my cleaning was done yesterday mostly. I do have to do like the bathroom and the living room tomorrow, but my kids will trash the living room pretty much every day, so I just waited until right before guests are gonna come. I'll clean the living room and have my kids help me. But yeah, so the next thing that I need to do is prep a couple dishes that need to be done ahead of time, so that way I'm not scrambling to finish the meal and everything's going in at different times and just not ready all at the same time. So one thing to do is, if you're cooking, is to write everything out down to the times it takes to prep and cook everything, so that way you know what your schedule is going to look like that day. You know, okay, I need to prep and maybe season my meat. This is just like what I'm going to be doing because we're making some tenderloin. I need to season that meat 2 hours ahead of time before it actually goes in. And even pull it out and unwrap it and trim it and have it sitting not covered in the refrigerator, so that way you can have like a good crisp ahead of time. So I have to do that overnight. So that's something that you want to read all your directions and make sure that you know what you're doing, so that way when it comes to it, your guests aren't like sitting waiting hungry and like, oh my god, please, when is dinner gonna be ready? And the last tip I have for you is to not stress or think about all those little details, because a lot of the times your guests are not even going to notice those details. That's something that you know because you planned everything. But when you forget little things, like, no one really notices that stuff. And if you think about it, when you go to someone's house and they're hosting you, you're not going to go around with a white glove looking at where they didn't clean. You're not critiquing their every move in the kitchen that they haven't done perfectly and on time. You're just there to have a good time and enjoy the company. So like I said earlier, get rid of any standards you've imposed on yourself in your head and just have a nice and enjoyable time with your family and your friends. It's about enjoying the holiday and not about a race to have the best, most perfect picture-worthy meal or decorations or house or anything like that. So this is moving on to the next day. I spilled a candle all down the front of my clothes, which I was really sad because this is one of my favorite shirts. And so I have this trick that I wanted to share with you guys. This is also the oil from the pants that I was wearing that day. And I admittedly probably left them sitting for too long before I treated them. But this is a trick that I learned from living in an apartment. I would spill like my candle wax, and basically what you want to do is you want to get an iron and you want to get paper towels, and I would spill like wax on my carpet, and you just take the paper towel and you put it over the wax, and then you just iron over it and melts it, and then the paper towel absorbs it. It comes out beautifully and it works so well. So if you ever spill candle wax on carpet, that is how you get it out. I thought it would work well with this shirt. but it really didn't get it out. Like I said, I think I left it for too long. So I'm going to go ahead and use some OxiClean Stain Fighter to get that out and see if that helps. And then for the oil stain, I'm going to try that as well. And honestly, it did not get it out. I just looked at the pants today and they still have a huge oil stain. So I'm going to try maybe some Dawn dish soap next. But I did also spill on my rug that's in the kitchen and it came out perfectly. So I'm really kind of sad that it didn't fully come out of the shirt, but it did help. Funny because watching all this footage back, I noticed my cat literally follows me everywhere, and sometimes even he like reaches out and like tries to grab my leg, but I didn't notice when I was actually cleaning, but I noticed obviously when I was editing all this footage. But anyways, to clean my floors I use the Dyson V11 Torque. It's a great vacuum. It is a little heavy, and I've shared a little bit about my thoughts as far as like if you have joint issues or anything like that, if you don't have a lot of strength in your arms, like it could be difficult because it doesn't have a trigger lock, but it does work really well. And then for my mop, right now I'm using the Libman Spin Mop. It's just like the O-Cedar and I love it. It works great. It's so efficient and easy and inexpensive, and I can clean like on the walls, I can clean the baseboards, I clean the stairs, I clean the banister, I can clean all kinds of stuff just with the Libman Spin Mop. So I do highly recommend that one. to give my plants a little bit of water, and I think I need to repot my monstera because the roots are like coming out of the pot. But I am moving on to starting to decorate for Christmas now that I have a nice clean slate in my house. And this tree is old, it's broken, look at it, it doesn't even work fully, but we did have extra strings that we put on. And also, that tree is not tall enough for my house, so we ended up ordering another tree that I do decorate towards the end of this video. And we moved this one and another small one over into the living room. And we have the new tree just in this dining room area. And I'm so happy with the way it came out. We decided to do an all black tree for that one. And then I'm just putting the garland up, and that is always a pain in the butt because it's just so long and you have to like string it through every single time that you put it around the banister. And also I realized that when we repaired the kitchen and we added those cabinets where the coffee bar is, that we covered up an outlet that's where we would have previously plugged in the garland. And so now that there is no outlet over there, and so there's nowhere to plug it in really. So that's a little disappointing. That's something I guess we didn't really consider when we put those in. But I mean, I do love the way that came out, so it is what it is. I'm just going to give everything a vacuum because you know how it is with those pine needles falling all out everywhere and glitter and all that. And then me and my kids are going to decorate the tree together. So I won't film that, but you will see it when it's all done. I promise the lights aren't as obvious in person as they look on camera. You can totally tell that it's like blocky, but I ended up getting these flowers from someone at work. They just added to the Christmas spirit and they were so beautiful. They lasted a couple weeks and they came in that super cute sleigh that I could use in future years. But I'm so excited to show you guys. We finally got the tub surround tiled up and we have the new tub in, we have the new hardware, and we just have finishing touches in here like baseboards and caulk, and I need to like finish with the decor. But I also put out the village with my kids, so I didn't film that, but I thought they went perfect with these light up Christmas trees. Everything is just kind of frosty looking and white over here, and it all lights up. So I just love lights, and I feel like they just add to the atmosphere so much. So anytime anything lights up, I love it. We also added these battery powered candles here for now. I don't love it, but that's what we're going with. And it actually, it doesn't look bad, but I would prefer real candles. And then I changed out the painting from the Day of the Dead painting that we normally have to this red painting. I ended up adding this nativity, and also I got that beautiful vase from Home Goods and just added some pretty winter florals there. I also got this Cheers thing, I don't know, a plaque, I guess, I don't know. And then I got that star, which I thought was Christmassy, but also could be used year round. And then I got that black Christmas tree lantern from the Target dollar spot. It was only $5, and I put a battery powered candle, and I also added another candlestick here and just like some fake greenery to kind of round it out. And then this is kind of what we did over here. We added these books, we added another light. I just feel like light throughout the home just brings the ambiance. Like, lighting is so important. I just feel like it can make any space super cozy and inviting. And so anytime that I can add a little touch of light, I love doing that. Anyways, moving on, I'm going to make some chicken noodle soup. I am freaking obsessed with soup. I make all kinds of soup and my husband hates it because every single week I want to have soup. But I have a secret ingredient that I swear will change your life and your soup game forever, at least with chicken noodle soup. Definitely stay tuned to find out what that is, but for now I'm just getting my mirepoix ready, which is basically just the onions, the carrots, and the celery, and chopping that up. And I'm actually making this in the Instant Pot tonight. So I am using the world's smallest cutting board because mine were in the dishwasher and it was currently running, so I had to use this tiny thing, and it was a pain, but it got the job done. many of you are cringing right now watching me cut the chicken on this tiny cutting board, but I put the paper towel underneath so that way, like, if any juices came out, it would soak it up. And I promise, like, even if you don't see me washing my hands or anything like that, I am very careful, especially with poultry and kitchen and food safety. So make sure you're washing your hands. Don't judge me on my small little cutting board. I promise I cleaned up properly afterwards. But I am just gonna start by sauteing all the chicken with some lemon pepper and butter in the Instant Pot on the saute setting, and then I'm gonna add in the vegetables. So this is the secret ingredient that I use for my homemade chicken noodle soup, and I promise you it'll change your chicken noodle soup game forever, and that is frozen egg noodles from the freezer section at the grocery store area. I can usually normally find only the grandma's egg noodles, but I know Ream's egg noodles is another big brand, and they're usually by the garlic bread or the frozen raviolis, and it's fresh egg noodles. I cannot even ever make chicken noodle soup with like regular dry noodles ever again. Quality is just like restaurant, and it will seriously change your life. I promise you, it's my favorite. And I'm adding some Better Than Bouillon chicken concentrate to the broth. I don't know if you noticed, but it did have a pretty good color just from the seasoning and the chicken and the vegetables even before I added that in, but I still do it for the flavor. And now I'm just gonna separate all those fresh egg noodles. I'll put them in, and I did set it on pressure cook for 7 minutes, which was a little much. The egg noodles ended up being like really big, but they weren't too bad. So I wouldn't put them in that long, maybe even just saute them for, I would say like 30 minutes. I feel like they take a little bit longer to cook, but it is so good. And we had some neighbor friends over. We had a couple of kids from down the street. They ate some, and then we had another friend come over and their kids, and they ate it. I had no leftovers. I only had one tiny bowl of leftovers, which normally I'm eating soup for like 3 days because nobody else in my family, like, first of all, eats leftovers, and I love soup. So I was a little disappointed, but I'm so happy because I just love feeding people, and it smelled so good, and everyone was like loving it. And so that just brings me joy, just cooking for others. And the soup came out delicious. This is what it looks like when it's all done. Seriously, I want some now. Yummy. I had actually been watching back footage from last year when I put together my marathon that I posted in my last video, and that's when I remembered that the tree was broken, the one that we moved over. And so I was like, oh my gosh. And I knew also that it was too small, and I didn't like it for our size ceilings, because in our old house we had way lower ceilings and a way smaller house, so it was perfect. So we ended up getting this tree from Amazon, and I can link it down below, but it was pretty affordable, and it actually is very good quality for the price, I would say. And it also has not only the colored, has flickering colored, and it also has the white lights. The one thing I would say is that the white lights are like a bright white and not like a soft white, which I would prefer soft white. But I guess with my little village that's in here, it has the bright white lights, and so it kind of goes. And then obviously we have the all black furniture, so we ended up buying this beautiful black sequined tree skirt, which was a little too small, so we brought over the gray one, which actually we flipped over because it has red on it, so the red is not showing obviously, and we kind of made it like a little edge. And we got all black ornaments and clear, and then we got some crystals. Oh, I just love the way it came out. I was thinking about what I wanted in the house because I wanted to be more neutral. I feel like our other one was like all red, and it really reminded me of the mountains, which is where we used to live. So it makes sense for that. But just now in our current home, I just felt like I wanted something more us. And we, maybe it doesn't always like translate, but we were listening to like metal while we were decorating this. And so we just like all kinds of music, but really at our core, like we're like little goth children. So we loved this tree, and my daughter, she's obsessed with Wednesday right now, and she was calling it our Wednesday tree. So it's super cute, but I love the crystals too. It's kind of like goth glam. There's some matte black, there's some sparkles. I just love the way it came out. It's so pretty and it makes me happy. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching today. If you made it this far, don't forget to give this video a like. Holidays to all of you, Happy New Year, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!